Hey guys! So today I wanted to give a tour of our very early spring garden. Everything is just starting to wake up, and I just thought, why not? I'll go ahead, it's a beautiful day outside. We'll go ahead and just kind of give a quick walkthrough of everything that it's got going on in the garden right now. I've not done any garden cleanup whatsoever, except just to pull like some of the dead leaves and things off the hosta and a couple of the iris here in the front. I did that a few weeks ago, but otherwise nothing has been touched. None of the hydrangeas have been hit. None of the leaves that have been cleaned up around the bases of the trees or anything. So it's still really, really messy, but this is reality. This is what the garden looks like in the spring. Now the hydrangea here, I have no idea what type, like specifically of hydrangea this is. This was here when we bought the house. It was one of the few plants, and it is flushing out like crazy. So I do need to get in and snip all of the dead off of this. So I'll cut it back just into here where these first set of nodes are that are coming out. Get those cut back. And all the boxwoods are starting to really flush out. Everything's looking really, really good right now, especially for this time of year. It seems like last year around this time, when I was off work for the pandemic, that everything just seemed a little lifeless. And it could have been just because of that time of the year with the pandemic. Everything seemed very dark. But one of the things I'm extremely excited about right now are the tulips. And I've got tulips coming up everywhere through here that I planted back in December. So I'm really excited about those and all that's coming up. But the front here, there's a couple of shrubs that I will trim back. This really large limelight hydrangea that's directly behind this little statue here, directly ahead of us. That one, I'm gonna trim it back a good deal this spring. I'm gonna wait until it starts to flush out just a little bit before I start clipping on it, but I'll clip it back. I'm also gonna shape up this azalea that's right behind this pagoda. The pagoda's gotta go. We're moving it sometime this summer, but we're gonna shape up the azalea. It's just getting a little too wild, a little too big. So we're gonna trim it back some. But the tulips though, they're really doing wonderful, as are the hellebores and the spring stars. I'm pretty sure that's what that is a spring star, the little pale blue. They're beautiful little flowers. But the hellebores, those are quite new for this year. I planted them maybe in January, something like that. But they seem to be doing really, really well. So I'm very excited for those. But the tulips are all through here. All together, I ended up planting 300 tulips, and they're all in the front. We have a little bit of our Easter stuff, just some bunnies. And then all of the boxwoods through here, these are all baby gems from the Southern Living Plant Collection, and those are really flushing out really, really well. I did plant more tulips through here, so those will be coming up. And the roses on either side of this pedestal are massive right now. I can't believe how big they are for this time of year. So it won't be long before they're loaded down with buds. And the courtyard this year, I'm extremely excited because on either side of the entrance and then along the brick wall, I've got a hedge of ligustrum planted. And the two really large shrubs, they're kind of right in the center of that red like awning carport that my neighbor has. That is also ligustrum. And so hopefully this summer it'll really flush out. So now, for anyone that has followed me in the past on Instagram, you'll notice this is the area that I always keep what I call my girls. And it's a little messy right now, but I mean, it's early spring, it's fine. So this planter I did up in the fall, and it's actually still doing really well. The pansies are doing great, the cabbage, the carrots, I've got a couple of tulips bulbs that has popped in there. Those are coming up. So it's not the best. The pepper needs to be cut back, but it is what it is. It'll be just fine. So we've got some other plant stands, and in the back we have a lot of plans this year. So originally we were going to take our deck completely off the house replace the deck, but we've since decided to take it completely off the house and just do away with it. So we're pretty sure that we're going to just do a gravel patio, very similar to what we have in the courtyard. So we'll take all of this off and replace it with gravel, and we've got the chiminea over here, and we'll get that put in the midst of everything. So it'll completely change the space, just build steps off the French doors there. So the deck is in desperate need of repair. But what I'm most excited about is this hillside, and this is going to be the biggest project this year, as also as like a project around the greenhouse, which is to do a hedge of boxwoods around the greenhouse and plant my dahlia tubers. I just got notification that they shipped to last night, so they will be here in just a couple of days. And so get the dahlia started, and with the dahlias I've got burgundies and whites and creams and along that color scheme. So I'd like to have a dahlia bed like right into here, and then have the boxwood hedge come down around and kind of make a little flanked entrance there at the door. And then all along this hillside, the fence that's up there is technically ours, but I don't want to pull it down because our neighbor actually uses it for his little dog. She's super sweet. But we want to make a natural fence and use a mixture of shrubs and trees and evergreens and just a wide variety of plants to really build up a lot of privacy along this side of our yard, and just to, it'll also cut down on like noise and from the street and stuff. So that we're really looking forward to, really looking forward to. But over here is our little tiny weeping cherry that I planted last year. It's so pretty. It's in bloom right now. The cherry tree is planted just behind where a massive oak tree used to be planted. And we had an oak that was around 100 feet tall that was cut down due to it passing away. But there's still a lot of garden cleanup. It's just been so early. Today's a abnormally warm day for March. It's a beautiful day though. But the cherry tree is so pretty right now with all its little blooms. And I've noticed this morning when I went outside, the bees are starting to buzz around. So the bees are waking up, which is always exciting. And along in this space here, if all goes well, I hope to mirror some of the plantings that we're going to do behind the greenhouse along that hill. Possibly have some evergreens and some summer color with hydrangeas and things along that general area. I think as the cherry tree grows and it matures, I think it would really balance out the hillside well. I think it'd really balance it out well. So that is pretty much everything for our early spring garden. There's still a lot of garden cleanup to do. I've still got a lot of work ahead of me, but I think this gives a really good idea of how our garden looks right now in late March, and I'm excited to see how it's going to transform over the next several weeks. So what is on your all's agenda for the summer? Drop in the comments below. I look forward to reading through those and seeing what you've got on your to-do list, and I will talk to you guys soon.